Now we're going to need that strap cover. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which side is up. I'm just going to pick a side, and this strap cover is going to get centered on it. I'm going to wrap this side up, and just for convenience, I'm going to clip it. Then this top edge I'm going to fold down about 1/4 and 3/8 and fold over the top. Okay, so it currently looks like that. And now I'm going to sew right down the middle and make sure to back stitch at the beginning and the end, and that is it. That is how I'm making a little cushioned center part that covers up the center seam, and it makes it easy to find the center of your strap, and it makes it easy to hold. It's like a little handle in the middle of your handle. But I am increasing my stitch a little bit because this is a lot of layers. It also, when it's going through the D-rings, makes it a little harder to just slip through, unless you want it to slip through. That's how it looks from that side and this side, and you can pick whichever one to be the top bottom of your strap. And now our straps are done for now. We can finish them now if we want, if you're doing the convertible, but I'm going to show you how to finish them at the end with the swivel hooks and the sliders. All right. For this next step, you need your 2 loops around the 1-inch D-ring, the smaller D-ring, and you need your small piece, your piece H side strap attachers. Whether you are doing the convertible or the backpack version of the small, you will need this. Now, if you are doing the large, you will need webbing at this point. So, 2 of these strap attachers will go together, and we will sandwich the strap in between. But it's important where you sandwich it so that you don't run into it. Also, I'm going to switch to a zipper foot for this stage. So I have a little diagram of the pattern. You will take your D-ring as your reference, and we're going to put it this side of the D-ring 1/2 inch from the edge, and this side of the D-ring 1/2 inch from the edge, so that we don't run into it with our needle or foot. And same thing with this. These are identical, so it doesn't, I mean, if you for some reason use two different fabrics, then you will need to make sure you go like this. But since it doesn't matter which way I turn it, with these being both green, I'm going to clip them like that. And if you are doing the webbing, oh goodness, I'd have to check my pattern, but you'll have it go this way, and you'll want this to extend a bit. The pattern tells you exactly how much, so that when you turn it right side out, you've got some on the inside, maybe it's an inch, I can't remember, some on the inside that you can use to sew on top of and stabilize. Okay, so now I'm going to put these on top to sandwich. Okay, and when I sew, I'm still sewing 3/8 of an inch from the edge. And I'm back stitching the front and end. And I'm going to go backwards over this same part and then forwards again because it's thick. It's okay, machine, you can do it. See, this would have been even thicker if we had folded this vinyl like I did the fabric. Oops. Now I am going to trim these edges and this corner, but not that part. So when we pull this out, I'm going to poke this corner out. Now I'm going to top stitch along here and baste along here. I'm going to cut off these little triangles sticking out. And now this is you can stick a rivet here, or you can sew a little box or an X, something to help reinforce it. And I'm going to go back to my Teflon foot for this. I'll sew just a little box. So now I am done with this one, and I will do the exact same thing with the second one. And then and we'll set them aside till I think the next step. I've got to check. We are now ready to sew the overlay on the back, which is piece I. You have a couple of options. You can cut 2 of the accent pieces, which is what I did on this one. I used canvas. Or if you're concerned about thickness, because you will be sewing over these D-rings and this, and if your vinyl is thicker and you're concerned about thickness, you can do 1 accent piece and 1 exterior piece, or if you don't want a contrast, you can just do the exterior, 2 exterior pieces, or if you have very thick vinyl, you can cut off the seam allowance and just use the smaller piece. So you have options, whatever you want. So, oops. I'm going to put these right sides together. I'm going to sew from the top edge around and leave an opening for turning. We'll need to trim these corners and the curves. Trim that all the way off. Okay. Turn right side out. I can't always tell whether what I'm doing is in the video or not. After I reviewed my last videos, I saw that sometimes my hair was getting in the way, so I moved it. And now I can't always tell where my hands are. If you can iron your fabric, which I cannot, if you can iron your fabric, iron this piece nice and flat. If not, you can use clips around the edge. Make sure to tuck in this raw edge. now I'm going to set that aside.